On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Foundation.
The lowest load-bearing part of a building, typically below ground level, a fundamental basis or principle upon which something is built or established, an organization that provides funding or support for charitable or educational purposes.
Examples:
Foundation course. Weak foundation. The foundation of the building was cracked and needed to be repaired.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Regularly.
At regular intervals or times.
Examples:
Regularly arranged. Post regularly to a blog. This site regularly shares high-quality academic materials.
Moth.
An insect with wings similar to a butterfly that travels at night and is attracted to light.
Examples:
Moth larva. Moth attracted to the light. The moth is a serious threat to the farm's output.
Strike.
To wallop somebody or something with the hand, fist, or weapon, to have an emotional or cognitive impact upon.
Examples:
Strike up a conversation. Strike a blow. We strike to achieve more wages and safer working conditions.
Poverty.
The condition of being extremely poor.
Examples:
Poverty alleviation. The cycle of poverty. Many studies have investigated the relationship between poverty and academic achievement.
Jar.
A cylindrical container, typically made of glass, metal, or pottery, with a wide mouth and a screwed or sealed lid, used for storing food, liquids, and other materials.
Examples:
A jar of jam. A water jar. He placed the coins in a jar to save for a trip.
Scope.
The range of one's perceptions, thoughts, or actions, or a subject that.
Examples:
Scope of a project. Have broad scope. The scope of human thought is diverse.
Dirt.
Soil, dust, or any substance that makes a surface not clean, the part of the Earth's surface consisting of humus and disintegrated rock.
Examples:
Dirt road. Dirt track. The garden was filled with dirt and needed to be tilled before planting.
Electrify.
To make a machine or system work by using electricity, to make someone extremely enthusiastic about or interested in something.
Examples:
Electrify the audience. Electrify a manufacturing process. The product developed through years of research continues to electrify the market.
Startle.
To cause a sudden or unexpected reaction of surprise, alarm, or fear in someone, typically by means of a sudden and loud noise, movement, or event.
Examples:
Startle for a moment. Startle the world. The loud bang outside the window caused him to startle and spill his coffee.
Ubiquitous.
Being or existing everywhere at once.
Examples:
Ubiquitous computing. Ubiquitous across ecosystems. Sugar is ubiquitous in food.
Condom.
A thin rubber or plastic sheath worn over the penis during sexual intercourse to prevent pregnancy or the transmission of sexually transmitted infections, STIs, between partners.
Examples:
Condom brand. Safe condom use. Using a condom during sexual activity is one of the most effective ways to prevent unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections.
Vaccinate.
To treat with a vaccine, usually by injection, to produce immunity against a disease.
Examples:
Vaccinate against scarlet fever. Vaccinate every year. The nurse vaccinated the children in the school.
Fling.
To throw or push something or someone with force or recklessness, especially because you are angry.
Examples:
Fling a stream of abuse. Fling a door open forcefully. He was provoked to fling the draft on the floor.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Staggering.
So shocking as to stun or overwhelm.
Examples:
Staggering number. A staggering defeat. The amount of money required was staggering.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Progression.
The act or process of changing to the next stage or phase or moving forward.
Examples:
Progression of civilization. Progression of disease. The company has made great strides in its progression towards sustainability.
Millennium.
A span of 1,000 years, or the 1,000th anniversary, plural, millennia.
Examples:
Past millennium. Millennium bottle of wine. Our world is in the third millennium.
Innovate.
To introduce new methods, ideas, or products.
Examples:
Innovate a new method. Innovate the quality of his life. Companies developing self-driving cars consistently innovate the emerging technologies.
Sector.
A distinct part or division of something often used to refer to a segment of an economy or industry, an area or field of work or activity.
Examples:
Industrial sector. Private sector. The technology sector is constantly evolving and innovating.
Relevance.
The state or degree of being closely connected or appropriate to the matter at hand.
Examples:
Have no relevance. Relevance category. The relevance of this information to the current situation needs to be investigated.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples:
Analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Immediately.
Now or without delay.
Examples:
Immediately recall a product. Write him an answer immediately. A suspension order from the court is effective immediately.
Tap.
To hit someone or something quickly, gently, and often repeatedly, to use existing resources, such as energy, knowledge, etc.
Examples:
Tap a new market. Tap keyboard with an index finger. To expand the company, we must tap new human resources.
Entrepreneur.
An individual who creates or invests in one or more businesses, especially when this involves taking financial risks.
Examples:
A successful entrepreneur. Billionaire entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs willingly accept business risks to achieve success.
Talent.
A natural ability to be good at something, someone who has a natural ability to be good at something.
Examples:
A person of diverse talents. Raw talent. Numerous great professional sports talents have come from this city.
Incredible.
unbelievable, extremely large.
Examples:
Incredible amount. At incredible speed. Her response revealed incredible idiocy.
Shareholder:
A person who owns shares of stock in a company or business and therefore gets the company's profit and has the right to control the company.
Examples:
The shareholders' meeting. Gain shareholder approval. Our company is committed to increasing shareholder value.
Profit:
Money that is earned in business or by selling things after deducting the costs involved.
Examples:
Gross profit. Make a profit. This business yields little profit.
Continuous:
Occurring or existing without a pause or interruption.
Examples:
Continuous improvement. A continuous row of warehouses. The heavy snow has been continuous since last morning.
Loop:
A shape like a curve or a circle made by something long and thin, such as a piece of string, that bends round and crosses itself.
Examples:
Exit from a loop. Positive feedback loop. Many people in this city use the loop railway for transportation.
Insight:
The ability to gain an accurate and deep understanding of people or situations, an accurate and deep understanding of what something is like.
Examples:
A profound insight. Share my insights. We gained various insights by analyzing the vast amount of data owned by the company.
Consume:
To spend something, especially fuel, energy, or time, in a large amount.
Examples:
Consume a large of alcohol. Consume electricity. A smaller car will consume less fuel.
Constituency:
A group of people who live in a particular geographic area and are represented politically by an elected official, a body of customers or clients who regularly use a particular service or product.
Examples:
Constituency needs. Local constituency. The politician met with his constituency to hear their concerns and ideas.
Sprite:
A small imaginary person with wings that is playful and has magical powers, also red sprite, large-scale electric discharges that occur high above thunderstorm clouds.
Examples:
A mythical sprite. Red sprite. In this region, there are legends of the existence of various water sprites.
Identify:
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Contrast.
To put in opposition, to show or emphasize differences.
Examples:
Contrast with a decade ago. Contrast two things. It's intriguing to compare and contrast the two authors.
Evaluate.
To assess or estimate the quality, significance, quantity, or value of something.
Examples:
Evaluate the grant proposal. Evaluate a situation. The meeting aims to evaluate possible choices.
Roll.
To move in a particular direction by turning over and over or from side to side.
Examples:
Roll a ball. Roll down his cheeks. He was exhausted and rolled into bed as soon as he got home.
Distant.
Far away in space, time, or where you are, far apart in relevance, relationship, or kinship.
Examples:
A distant memory. Distant ancestors. The sun set over the crest of distant hills.
Bulk.
The quantity or size of something that is very large, the main part of something.
Examples:
Buy in bulk. Bulk data transfer. I received a parcel of great bulk.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something. To come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Micro.
Extremely small in scale or scope, 1/1,000,000th.
Examples:
Micro bubble. Micro force sensor. This approach employs both micro and macro analysis methods.
Distribute.
To give something to a large number of individuals, or to spread or furnish something.
Examples:
Distribute wealth evenly. Distribute video content. His estate was distributed to his sons.
Hire.
To give somebody a job.
Examples:
Hire a guide. Hire a car by the hour. We should always be prepared to hire talented recruits.
Wheelbarrow.
A hand-operated cart with a single wheel in front and two supporting legs behind, used for carrying small loads over short distances.
Examples:
Empty the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow tire. I loaded up the wheelbarrow with dirt and hauled it to the backyard.
Employ.
To give somebody a job and pay them for it, to make use of.
Examples:
Employ job seekers. Employ a new method. When making arrests, police officers frequently employ excessive force.
Represent.
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples.
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Motto.
A phrase or slogan that expresses a guiding principle or goal.
Examples.
The motto for safe traffic. Company motto. The company's motto is innovation and service, which is reflected in its products and customer support.
Extension.
A thing that is added to something to make it longer, larger, or wider. An educational opportunity provided by colleges and universities to people who are not enrolled as regular students. An additional telephone set that is connected to the same telephone line.
Examples.
Time extension. Telephone extension. They are building an extension to the house to add more bedrooms.
Clinic.
A building or hospital department where people can go for medical care or advice, especially of a particular condition.
Examples.
Visit to the veterinary clinic. A dental clinic. She holds a clinic on Tuesday mornings.
Emergency.
A sudden unforeseen crisis usually involving danger that requires immediate action.
Examples.
Emergency action. Acute emergency. The president declared a state of emergency.
Studied.
Deliberately considered or scrutinized, carefully thought out or planned.
Examples.
Studied analysis. Well-studied decision. His speech was carefully crafted and delivered with studied confidence.
Adapt.
To make fit for change to suit a new purpose or environment.
Examples.
Adapt fully to the environment. Adapt as needed. I advised him to adapt to his new surroundings.
Ratio.
The relative size or amount of one thing to another, typically expressed in the form of a fraction or decimal.
Examples.
Debt-to-income ratio. Ratio of boys to girls. The ratio of water to sugar in the recipe is 1:2.
Prenatal.
Of, relating to, or occurring in the period before birth.
Examples.
Prenatal checkup. Prenatal development. Prenatal care is essential for ensuring the health of both mother and baby.
Immunization.
The process of making a person or animal immune to a specific disease by administering a vaccine or other preventative measure.
Examples.
Immunization program. Childhood immunization. Due to the success of immunization programs, certain diseases, such as smallpox, have been eradicated.
Facility.
A building or place that provides a particular service or is used for a particular industry.
Examples:
A cell phone with an internet facility. Facility design. This company has an entire recycling facility, including major reprocessing plants.
Delivery.
The act of taking or sending something to a destination, the bringing of a baby during childbirth.
Examples:
An easy delivery. Special delivery. The delivery truck arrived with the packages.
Mortality.
The quality or state of being subject to death.
Examples:
Mortality due to cancer. Lower infant mortality. This disease has a high mortality.
Numb.
Unable to feel physical sensation and movement, not showing human feeling or sensitivity.
Examples:
Numb with cold. A numb mind. My left arm became numb.
Generate.
To produce or create something, to make offspring by reproduction.
Examples:
Generate more electricity. Generate $100 a month. The economic stimulation program would generate a lot of new jobs.
Incentive.
Something, such as a punishment, reward, etc., that encourages a person to do something.
Examples:
Financial incentives. An incentive to work hard. They have no incentive to win the game.
Unlock.
To open something, such as a door, window, etc., usually using a key.
Examples:
Unlock a door with a key. Unlock value. The customs officer required the traveler to unlock his suitcase.
Component.
One of several parts that combines with others to form something bigger.
Examples:
Key component. Spare components for cars. The researchers try to discover a common component in all types of successful organizations.
Ultimate.
Furthest or highest in degree or order.
Examples:
The ultimate goal in life. The ultimate luxury. Management must take ultimate responsibility for the accident.
Crucial.
Extremely vital or necessary.
Examples:
Crucial information. A crucial issue for women. The revitalization of technology companies is crucial to the country's growth.
Rely.
To require a certain thing or the assistance and support of someone or something in order to continue, run properly, or succeed.
Examples:
Rely on convenience stores. Rely entirely on him. Babies heavily rely on others for food.
Aspiration.
A strong desire to achieve something, the action or process of drawing breath.
Examples:
No aspiration for fame. Aspiration into the lungs. He has an aspiration to become a doctor.
Associate.
To mentally connect someone or something with someone or something else.
Examples:
Associate alcohol with gambling. Associate with people widely. The majority of consumers associate this brand with quality.
Slogan.
A short, catchy phrase or motto that is used by a person, organization, or company to promote a particular product, cause, or idea.
Examples:
Catchy slogan. Advertising slogan. The company spent months researching and testing different brand slogans before finally settling on "Just do it" as their new tagline.
Localize.
To restrict or confine something to a specific area or location, to adapt or translate something for a particular region or market.
Examples:
Localize an infection. Localize the problem. It is crucial to quickly localize the source of the contamination to prevent further spread of the virus.
Hop.
To jump lightly and quickly on one foot or both feet, to move rapidly from one place to another, to travel using an aircraft, bus, etc.
Examples:
Hop on one foot. Hop from one place to another. The rabbit hopped over the fence.
Champion.
Someone who has won first place in a competition, someone who fights for a specific group of people or a belief.
Examples:
A champion of peace. The grand champion. The champion bicyclist outrode all his competitors.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
Define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Lift.
To raise something to a higher position or level, to pick up something or somebody and move them to a different position.
Examples:
Lift sagging skin. Lift a ban on alcohol. The drought lifted the prices of grain globally.
Inhibit.
To prevent something, such as an action, process, etc., from happening or make it less likely to happen than normal.
Examples:
Inhibit desires. Inhibit tumor growth. Excessive parental interference may inhibit children's eagerness to learn.
Celebrate.
To acknowledge a memorable or good day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity.
Examples:
Celebrate his election. Celebrate Christmas. He celebrated the 10th anniversary of his tenure.
Nation.
A large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation-state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Chart.
A visual display of information such as a diagram, lists of figures, etc., a map designed to assist navigation by air or sea.
Examples:
A weather chart. A statistical chart. This pie chart represents our market share.
Childhood.
The state or time of being a child.
Examples:
Since childhood. Childhood development. He had fond memories of his childhood spent playing in the park with his friends.
Appeal.
A serious, earnest, or urgent request for money, information, or help, a quality that makes somebody or something attractive or interest.
Examples:
Draw out your appeal. An appeal for help. He needed to resolve the problem as soon as possible, so he made an appeal directly.
Unity.
The condition of being together or in agreement.
Examples:
Unity of authority. Cultural unity. Complete political unity is impossible to establish.
Avoidance.
The act of keeping away from something or someone, the act of avoiding or evading something, such as a duty or responsibility.
Examples:
Avoidance behavior. Conflict avoidance. The avoidance of discussing the issue only made things worse.
Mess.
A state of confusion, dirtiness, or untidiness. Verb, to fail to do something or to make something dirty or untidy.
Examples:
Have a whole mess. Get into a mess. He made a frightful mess in his room.
Diarrhea.
A common digestive disorder with the frequent passage of loose, watery stools that can be caused by various factors such as infections, food poisoning, and certain medications.
Examples:
Diarrhea-related dehydration. Diarrhea with abdominal pain. I had a terrible case of diarrhea and couldn't stop going to the bathroom.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Assume.
To think or accept something to be true without having proof of it, to take or begin to have power, to begin to exhibit a specific quality or appearance.
Examples.
Assume a lousy attitude to his boss. Assume an important role. The following example assumes that the capacity of each battery is the same.
Indication.
A sign or remark that something exists, is real, or is likely to occur.
Examples.
Indication of inflation. Environmental indication. Faces are a good indication of age.
Sanitation. The
process of maintaining a clean and hygienic environment, particularly in public health and safety contexts. The practice of disposing of waste products in a safe and appropriate manner.
Examples.
Sanitation standards. Poor sanitation. Sanitation workers play a critical role in keeping our cities clean and healthy.
Defecate.
To excrete waste material from the body through the anus, to pass feces.
Examples.
Cause an impulse to defecate. Defecate out in the open. It is important to clean up after your pet when they defecate in public areas.
Toilet.
A bowl-shaped plumbing fixture with a seat for defecation and urination, or a room or building containing one or more of this fixture.
Examples.
Toilet paper. Toilet seat. She walked to the toilet to freshen up before the meeting.
Reuse.
To use something again or more than once.
Examples.
Reuse the materials. Reuse existing knowledge. The supermarket encourages shoppers to reuse plastic bags.
Slab.
A flat, rectangular piece of material, such as wood or concrete, often used to describe a large, heavy, or solid object or structure.
Examples.
A slab of chocolate. Marble slab. The construction workers poured a large slab of concrete for the foundation of the building.
Grain.
Wheat or any other small hard seeds used as a food, a relatively small granular particle of a substance.
Examples.
A grain of sand. Flour made from grain. Ordinary air purifiers cannot adequately remove pollen grains.
Coop.
A farm building or enclosure for housing poultry.
Examples.
Fly the coop. Chicken coop. The farmer put a coop over the hens.
Entail.
To involve or require something as necessary, particularly as a consequence of a particular situation or action, to impose a burden or restriction on something.
Examples:
entail legal consequences, entail risks. The job offer entails a lot of responsibility and hard work.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples:
modern poetry, pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Trend.
A general direction in which something is changing or developing.
Examples:
an international trend. The trend away from television. The oil price continued their downward trend.
Convenience.
The state of being suitable or opportune.
Examples:
convenience goods. For convenience sake. They offered the convenience of an installment plan.
Courtship.
The period of time when two individuals go through the process of getting to know each other, often with the intent of forming a romantic or intimate relationship.
Examples:
traditional courtship, romantic courtship. The movie depicts an old-fashioned courtship between the two main characters.
Headline.
A heading at the top of a newspaper or magazine story or page.
Examples:
headline article, banner headline. The engagement of the two golf players became headline news.
Refuse.
To show that one is not willing to do or accept something.
Examples:
refuse a request. Refuse the company. My initial reaction was to refuse.
Innovative.
Introducing or using new methods, ideas, etc.
Examples:
use of innovative technology. Stylistically innovative works. The Prime Minister stressed the need to create innovative industries.
Circumcise.
To remove the foreskin of a male's penis, often as a religious or cultural ritual.
Examples:
circumcise a newborn. Circumcise a child. It is common in some cultures to circumcise infant boys as a rite of passage.
Infection.
A condition in which pathogenic microorganisms or viruses have entered the body.
Examples:
a bacterial infection. Treat the infection with antibiotics. Hospitals must meet various standards to prevent nosocomial infections.
Scratch.
To cut or damage the surface of something or the skin with a sharp or pointed object.
Examples:
Scratch off a name. Scratch my signature. Don't scratch your mosquito bites.
Volunteer.
A person who performs or offers to perform a job or service without being paid for or forced to do.
Examples:
Seek volunteers. My volunteer work. The teachers make full use of volunteer assistance.
Procedure.
A way of doing something, especially the official or well-known way.
Examples:
Undergo a surgical procedure. Standard procedure. The pilot and flight attendant ran through the checkout procedure.
Prefer.
To like, choose, or want one thing or person better than another.
Examples:
Prefer physics to chemistry. Prefer a window seat. The birds prefer open water areas with reeds around them.
Improvisation.
The act of making something up on the spot or creating or performing something without preparation.
Examples:
Improvisation on stage. Jazz improvisation. He created a beautiful piece of music using only improvisation.
Polio.
An acute infectious disease caused by a virus that attacks nerve cells in the spinal cord and brain, leading to paralysis, muscle weakness, and potentially lifelong disability.
Examples:
Polio epidemic. Polio eradication. The polio vaccine development is regarded as one of the greatest medical achievements of the 20th century.
Reduction.
A decrease in size, amount, or degree.
Examples:
Reduction strategy. A gradual reduction. The reduction in carbon emissions has been significant since the implementation of the new policy.
Paralysis.
A condition in which you are unable to move or lose control of part or most of the body because of illness or injury.
Examples:
Moral paralysis. Paralysis in the leg. Massive demonstrations lead to total paralysis of transportation.
Clinician.
A practitioner, especially of medicine or psychology, who has direct contact with patients.
Examples:
Experienced clinician. From a clinician's perspective. Some clinicians believe that psychological characteristics alone may cause mental disorders.
Chemistry.
The branch of the natural sciences dealing with the composition of substances and their properties and reactions.
Examples:
Professor of chemistry. The chemistry of soil. He is familiar with chemistry and biology.
Concrete.
Existing in a physical or material form rather than an abstract one, based on facts rather than ideas or guesses, made of or covered with cement.
Examples:
A concrete noun. Concrete examples. The president asked for a more concrete plan.
Par.
A state of being equal to someone or something.
Examples:
Above par performance. Not up to par. Shares in the company finally fell below their par value.
Stool.
A seat without a back or arms, typically used by one person, a piece of furniture with a flat top supported by one or more legs, used for working at or eating from, a piece of feces excreted from the body.
Examples:
Stool seat. Stool analysis. The doctor asked me to provide a stool sample for testing.
Confirm.
To support or establish the truth or certainty of something previously believed or suspected to be the case.
Examples:
Confirm the diagnosis. Confirm a transaction. Please write to confirm your reservation.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples:
Have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Strain.
A force or pressure that stretches or pulls something, sometimes causing damage. Biology, a group of organisms within a species that differ in trivial ways from similar groups.
Examples:
Strain our eyes. A strain of bacillus. Dictators of the past often had the erroneous idea of a pure racial strain.
Strand.
A very thin natural or synthetic thread, wire, hair, etc. Verb, to leave or drive a vessel, fish, etc., aground or ashore.
Examples:
A strand of fine hair. Double-strand DNA. I heard several melodic strands simultaneously.
Transmission.
The act or process of sending something from one person or place to another, the process of broadcasting over the airwaves, as in radio or television.
Examples:
Transmission speed. The transmission gears of a car. Education is the transmission of civilization.
Affected.
Influenced, feeling or showing emotion, especially exaggerated emotion, not natural or sincere.
Examples:
Affected way of walking. The affected part. Her affected accent made it difficult to take her seriously.
Endgame.
The final stage or outcome of a long and complex process or sequence of events, especially one that involves a struggle or competition.
Examples:
Endgame strategies. Chess endgame. The athlete's end game was to win an Olympic gold medal before retiring from the sport.
Outbreak.
A sudden start of something, usually a disease or something dangerous or unpleasant.
Examples:
Infectious disease outbreaks. The outbreak of hostilities. The government predicts an epidemic outbreak of multiple viruses, including coronaviruses and influenza.
Donor.
A person or an organization that makes a gift of money, food, supplies, etc. to a cause or fund. In medicine, a person who gives blood or tissue or an organ to be used in another person.
Examples:
A transfusion of donor blood. An unnamed donor. His body rejected the liver of the donor.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly, or extremely.
Examples:
Incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Generous.
Willing to give and share something such as money, help, kindness, etc., especially more than is necessary or expected.
Examples:
A generous reward. A generous and thoughtful person. This teacher is generous in his grading.
Fatigue.
A feeling of tiredness or weariness, especially as a result of physical or mental exertion. The reduction in the strength or efficiency of a material or structure due to repeated use or stress.
Examples:
Fatigue breaking. Fatigue caused by overwork. The metal showed signs of fatigue after being subjected to repeated stress.
Sight.
The ability to see anything that is seen.
Examples:
An unexpected sight. Dull sight. Many famous sights are within walking distance.
Amazing.
Extremely surprising, especially in a way that you like or admire.
Examples:
Amazing advances. The most amazing feeling. The golfer recorded an amazing distance.
Eradicate.
To get rid of or destroy something completely, especially something bad.
Examples:
Eradicate the deficit. Eradicate racial discrimination. We are trying to eradicate this disease from the world.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
Disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Wipe.
To clean or dry something by rubbing with a piece of cloth or paper or one's hand and removing dirt, food, or liquid.
Examples.
Wipe off dirt. Wipe with water. Please wipe your sweat with this towel.
Victory.
A success in a game, competition, election, or battle, or the knowledge that you have won.
Examples.
Victory in the law court. Victory over terrorism. We are optimistic about our final victory.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples.
A prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.